S-5 came to be because I had just completed the shoveling and clearing of the entrance pad to my garage. And it was quite a bit of snow I had just shoveled by hand. And I was admiring my work with all that snow cleared away. And all of a sudden, whoosh, off the garage roof came another 3 feet of snow where I had just shoveled it. So I put on my thinking cap and decided I was going to invent a better solution for that. I carved the first few prototypes, if you will, out of a block of wood in my little shop out in the barn. From there, I had some prototypes made from aluminum. I took them to a test lab up in Boulder, and they only had a 2,000-pound load cell in that tensile test machine, and it maxed out the load cell. And that's when I said, I might really have something here.
Yeah, I remember testing those clamps. It was my job, and I had a sheet of paper where I'd list each. You had your control and your test specimens, and I had a torque wrench. I had to torque them down to a specific torque. Then we'd take them and we'd put them in the oven. And after so many hours, I'd pull them out. All right, now let's put them in the freezer. We'd put them in the freezer for several
It was
days.
very sophisticated testing.
It was, as I recall.
But I also remember as like a QC thing, we would be packaging parts, and part of the process is you run a set screw through it. Make sure you can spin it easily by hand. It goes through there. And I mean, that's followed through our entire production up till this date.
Yep.
And we were doing that with our fingers, and when something bad happened, I called Dad. Dad! These widgets are broke.
What good are kids if you can't use them? So I used them. When they grew up a little bit more and they got out of high school, they couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
When I left home and went to college, I really didn't want to be part of the family business. I was going to be a lawyer. I graduated summa cum laude, valedictorian of my college, gave the speech, and I was setting out to conquer the world. And you know what you can do with all that in a hard job market? Nothing. Nobody cares. They don't care. I knew that I needed to be more a part of the business I grew up in. And we had talked about some of the shortfalls in the S-5 business model and how it didn't really cater to getting new parts out to the market. And there was a lot of distributors or would-be distributors that really were excited about the parts but couldn't buy in because the minimum quantity that you had to purchase was so large, and so they could only carry 1 or 2 SKUs. In order to be successful, they needed to be able to offer more. Had an idea just to get the entire S-5 part line and become a wholesale distributor and sell only distributors the entire S-5 line.
I remember I first got involved with the family business. Dad never was a computer guy, and he went to the computer store, decided he finally needed a computer. So he hands me this computer and he says, figure everything you can out about this thing and then tell me and show me. So I learned it inside and out, taught him how to use it. Then from there, eventually doing the packaging, and Mom was doing the bookkeeping, and I would help her, cut checks and figure out how to work her machine. That's how I ultimately became an IT guy.
The way I kind of stepped into R&D was I started in marketing, working with Sean and whatnot. Things just felt slow to me. So every time a panel manufacturer called us, anytime a customer called us, I'm like, send me panels, we'll test them. And so just dove right into it and kind of took over the whole testing thing and organized it and got it to where it was systematic, and it evolved into product improvement. And then it was like, well, what else is there in terms of certifications and whatnot? That's kind of where I'm at now, is constantly seeking on what we do, how we can do it better, and why.
My drive as a dad and as a builder is to build legacy through my children, my grandchildren, my business, the physical things that I create. there's just a deep feeling of self-satisfaction of contributing something that lasts longer than I do.